Hi. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. It is a bit of, well, that's the kind of weather that I like. I like the rain. I like the clouds. But I mean, it takes all kinds of weather. But it doesn't matter what the weather is here. It is very nice. It is Shabbat. It is the Shabbat before Shavuot, which is not, it's not a special Shabbos or anything. It's just Shabbos. We're going to have Amy come up and Ben Shlicht for us. And we'll begin on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. We're going to continue on page 6. Page 6, responsive reading in English. Page 6. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. All right, this evening, we're going to turn to page 20, Lecha Dodi, and we'll do 6 through 9. 6 through 9. Mix things up, make sure you know all the verses. Page 20. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi Ligrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. Lo tevoshi v'lo tikolmi, ma tishtochachi ma tehemi, bach yechesu aniyei ami, v'nihivneta ir al tila, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela, v'hayu l'shimsa shohosayich, V'rahachaku kol melvalayich, yasis alayich Elohayich, ki himsos chatan al kala, lecha dudi likra kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela, yamin usmol tihifrotzi, v'et Adonai taharitzi, al yahadish Ben Partzi, B'nihi smecha v'nagila, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela, boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'sohola, toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Page 22, let's read some verses from Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. A song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadik tamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanon yis Yizkeh Shetulim Bebeit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu O Jinuvun B'Seifa Deshenim Bera'ananim Yihiyu Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri V'lo Aflatavo. Page 24, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharei, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Let's continue reading together in English on page 147. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Agavim. Page 148, let's read responsively. In each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world.
In each age we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment we stand face to face with truth.
In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on the foundation of truth.
V'havatecha tasir mimenu li'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levacha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol meodecha, v'hayu advarim ha'eleh. Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha b'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 151, let's read responsibly in English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. Page 152 at the top. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nohora tehilot, osei feleh, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeam lifnei Moshe, Zeili anu v'amru, Adonai iloch leolam va'ed. V'ne'amar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov, u'galo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, ga'al Yisrael. Page 153, top two lines of Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Page 153 at the bottom, let's read together. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, some verses from the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. Vishamru. Vishamru, V'nei Yisrael, Et HaShabbat. La'asot et ha'shabbat lidorotam berit olam v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha'shabbat. La'asot et ha'shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, B'nei Yisrael, oti li'olam, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha'shabbat, la'asot et ha'shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, Asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabbat la'asot et hashabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam berith olam. Page 155 and following, the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh hakol, v'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi goel b'neihem, leman shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham, v'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayim eitim atarav lahoshia, morid hatahal, mechakel chayim bechesed, mechayim eitim berachamim rabim, sohomech noflim verofech oholim, umatir asurim, umekayim emunato, Lishenei afar, michamocha ba'giboro, umidol melach, melech mimich umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'chayot metim, baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh ametim. Page 160, let's read together in the English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 163, a little bit of hoda'ah, a little bit of thanksgiving. Let's read responsibly at the top. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. We'll close out, as always, with the prayer for peace. 164 in the evening, it's Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov benecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise to you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. Page 253, one of the many prayers in our tradition for healing. This one is called Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor habracha lehimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu Mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Pages 258 and 259, prayers of our community. And Mark, you want to pray for our congregation?
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who read, who teach, and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, shotecha levatcha b'yira navod. Elizabeth, how about the prayer for our country?
Can I do the thus says Adonai?
You got a choice of two.
Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke,
Share your bread with the hungry, and take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness.
Thank you. That's from Isaiah 58. That's the Haftarah that we read on Yom Kippur. It's to wake us up on Yom Kippur, but I think it's also good to wake us up on Shabbat as well. Top of 259. Shalu shalom, sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim, yishlayu avayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashmayim, Sur Yisrael v'go'alo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Beishit Tzmichat Gulatenu. Again, Aleha b'yafrach chastecha, ufros Aleha sukat shlomecha, ushlach orcha v'amitecha l'rasheha, sareha v'yoetzeha, v'takneim be'etza tova milfanecha, v'natata shalom ba'aretz, v'simchat olam liyoshveha, v'nomar amen. Chad, how about that in English, please?
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Amen. Shabbat shalom and good Shabbos.
Oh, good Shabbos.
Can you smell it in the air? It's not rain. It's a new book of the Torah. All right. It is the book of Bamidbar. In Hebrew, it translates as in the wilderness. In the non-Jewish Bible, it's translated as Numbers. One of the things that you'll find out when you study Bible is that the non-Jewish names of the books in the Torah give you a sense of what they think the book is about, and ours is the first major word in the book. So Bereshit means in the beginning, or when God began to create. In the non-Jewish scriptures, it's Genesis because it's about the creation, but there's a lot more that goes on there. Exodus, the going out from Egypt, but in the Hebrew it's known as Shemot. Names, but the Exodus is the big ticket item for non-Jewish readers in that book. Leviticus, the book of the Levites or the book of Levitical law. For us, it's Vayikra. And then Bamidbar, in the wilderness or in the desert, and translated in English as Numbers. And the reason it's called Numbers is it opens up with the census. And you know, Israel's getting ready to picks up the narrative where it left off in the book of Exodus. All right. And so we go from the end of Exodus, then we have this interlude of the book of Vayikra, which is not narrative. It has nothing to do with what came before or what comes after. And now we pick up. It's the first day of the second month of the second year. First day of the second month of the second year. So they've been out of Egypt for a year, a month, and a couple of days. And they're going to have the census. The census is all males over the age of 20 are to be counted. All males over the age of 20. The Levites are excluded. The Levites, and then by extension, the Kohanim, are excluded because they are responsible for the sanctuary and all the rituals, and they're not going to go fight. They're not going to go fight. And they camp around the sanctuary and assist Aharon, Moses' brother, the high priest. Then Moshe goes and counts the Levites, and they are from the age of 1 month and older, and he counts 20,000 Levites. 20,000 Levites. And then the firstborn males go of Bnei Yisrael, and they come up at 22,273. And there's a 5 shekel tax imposed on the parents who have a non-Levite son, firstborn. That would have been me. Right? My parents are not Kohanim, they're not Leviim, and there would have been a 5 shekel tax imposed, and that would release me from having to do duties in the sanctuary. It's called Pidyon Haben, And I don't know if anyone ever did it in this community, but the Kohen would come and you would give them $5 silver, and they would recite a couple of blessings, and then the firstborn son would be exempt. I mean, we're exempt anyway. There is no temple standing and things like that, but it's a nice ritual. It's a nice carry over from biblical times. It's one of the oldest rituals in Judaism. The oldest being, of course, circumcision, and this would be done after the circumcision. And the money would be given to Aharon, and it would be used at his discretion. It would be used at his discretion. We get some information about Aharon and his children. The dismantling and prepping the Mishkan for movement from place to place. That's what Aharon and his sons would do. They would dismantle and prep the Mishkan for movement. All objects are covered with dolphin skins, which is a horrible translation of something that we really don't know. It's actually called Techashim, and they translate it as dolphin skin. And where would they get dolphin skin in the middle of the wilderness? They wouldn't. We think it's called dolphin skin because it was luminescent, like what's a cloth that glistens when it's under light, kind of shimmers.
Luminous?
Lame.
But I'm asking the kind of cloth, the material that it's called.
Phosphorescence?
You're describing the quality. I'm asking,
Satin.
kind of sateen, something like that. Right? And looks like, apparently this looked like wet dolphin skin. We think it was dyed sheep or goat wool and skin, right? But it probably the skin, not necessarily but it would shimmer. It would, and so everything is wrapped up in that. And then the last thing we get is the counting of the Kohatites, and their descendants from a man named Kohat, who was one of Levi's 3 sons. And these men between the age of 30 and 50, they are assigned to lift and carry the Mishkan parts from place to place. They're the schleppers, right? They will carry it from place to place. They are not present when it is assembled. They are not present when it is disassembled, lest they help out. They are only to carry it from place to place in its dismantled state. With all the numbers and everything, we sometimes lose sight of what Bamidbar is going to ultimately be. It's going to be a book of transition. The transition from Sinai, Mount Sinai, where we left Bnei Yisrael at the end of Exodus, to the daily life of them in the wilderness. And it's the story of how they learned their way and how they ultimately were led to Canaan, the land of Canaan, where they conquered it and established the state of Israel. There are no mitzvot in this parsha, one of the few outside of the book of Genesis that don't have any mitzvot. But it's nice to know that we're back in the narrative, and we'll be visiting the parshiot more deeply in the weeks to come. All right, we will continue with Kiddush. Kiddush for Friday night. Kiddush Le'el Shabbat. Vayhi boker Yom HaShishi. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam. Vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa. Vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto kivo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Savri.
Right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu bacharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, inchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Shabbat. Please remain standing. Aleinu, page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tei kedula liotzer reishit, Shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'laho samanu k'mishpachot hadama, Shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohor aleinu k'chol hamodam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishpachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malkei halachim, akadosh baruch hu. Shehu notei shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'Moshe v'karo b'shamayim imal, u'shlinatu zo, v'gov hein meromi, u'Eloheinu einod, emet malkeinu efes ulato, katatu v'torato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota, Elevavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim imal, v'yaharetz, mitachat eino. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imloch li'olam va'ed, v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yihyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You may be seated. We continue Shloshim from Maxine Freundel. This week we enjoy the following yardside: Layla M. Jacobs Kunz, Morris's wife, mother Richard and Linda. William L. Hartz, son of Leonard and Ruby, Maury's brother. Dr. Lincoln M. Poland, Lake Poland the first son. Carol Solov, Jason's grandmother. Bessie Glick Cohen, Izzy's wife. Nancy Cohen Tarbus' mother, aunt of David and Billy, and Barbara Shapiro. Myron J. Katz, Jerry Katz's brother, Andy and Jesse's youngest son. Terry Radow, Steve's wife, Judy Woodruff's sister-in-law. Abraham Isaac Poland, Joan Weisberg's grandfather. Philip Hirsch, Janice's husband, Susie Brodoff, and Cheryl Hirsch's father. Lawrence I. Glick, Jane's husband, Stephen and Eileen's father, cousin of David, Billy, and Barbara. Sam Barak, Hal Rubin's father-in-law. Ralph Peter Hayflett, Jerry and Sally's son, Nancy and Faith's brother. Sarah Lazarus, relative of May. Norman Stone, friend of Pauline Kaplan's cousin. Charlotte Angel, wife of Henry, mother of Etta and Max David. Rosemary Friedman Cohen, Harold's sister, related to Julius and Lena Friedman. Isidore Katz, Sandy Colker's father. Ben Romer, Bert, Don, and Gloria's father. Israel T. Gross, Dave's brother. Sarah Malmood, mother to Ben, Esther Netchin, and Saul and Seymour. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they always rest in peace. 294, Mourner's Kaddish. Yid Kadal, Yid Kadash, Shmei Rabbah, Ve'alma Tivrach, Yerutei, V'yamlik Malchutei, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, Uv'chayed, V'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav, Yisman Kari, V'yimru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah, Mivorach, L'olam, L'amei Almaya, Yitkarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitkar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei D'Chudisha, V'richu, Le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbachata v'nechamata, Da'amiram ba'alma v'yimru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, Amen. You may be seated. Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos.
Good job.
Just a couple of quick announcements. Services tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and then again on Sunday at 9 a.m. No classes on Sunday afternoon. We're going to be preparing for Shavuot, and the evening Shavuot service with the Tikkun, the study session, begins at 7 o'clock Sunday night. And if you know about Shavuot, you know what you can expect in terms of food. So looking forward to seeing you there. Services Monday morning at 10 a.m. The office is closed as it is the first day of a major holiday, and that is Shavuot. The second day, there'll be Yizkor after 10 o'clock, and then the office will be open in the afternoon, only because there's an argument, especially in America, whether 1 or 2 days for holidays like Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and Pesach, because they only do 1 day in Israel, except for Rosh Hashanah. That's still 2 days. They want to make sure they get it right. And then I don't think there are any meetings. Mark, are you having a board meeting or something? No? We're in good shape for the first week of August. So, yeah, but it's Shavuot, so there'll be, it's June. What did I say, August?
Yeah.
I wanted to get through the heat. But it is June, and so we'll get back on track as the month unravels. And that's it. Anything else to add?
When are those study classes starting?
Those study classes are starting next Monday night at 6:30, and we'll get a taste of Talmud. And then in July, I forgot what we said we're going to do.
But it's Monday nights at 6:30.
Monday nights at 6:30. Yep. Monday nights at 6:30.
And what about Shabbat mornings?
That's the following Shabbat as well. That will be at 9:15. We'll have a study session, and depending on how things go, maybe a little nosh. So there might be breakfast, but not, Bob Evans breakfast. There will be, there'll be no treif, but and it won't be hot. It won't be hot, but we'll spend some time studying Torah Saturday morning before services. And the newsletter came out, so you'll find all of that on the calendar in the newsletter. And so, all right, let's close out on 322. 321. 321 with Adon Olam. Adon Olam Hashem Allah. B'terem kol yitzir nivra, li'ek nasa b'chefso kol, azai mehelek shemo nivra, v'yacharei kichlo tachol, levado imloch nora, והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד בין שני להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי ביצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אבקיד רוחי ביתי שן ביעירה במרוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא. All right, friend, let's see who say hello to us via the intertubes tonight. There's Heather Watts. Shabbat Shalom. Hope everyone has a wonderful Shavuot. Thank you, Heather. Same to you. There's Mom and Cliff. Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's Mom and Cliff from a nice day in Pennsylvania. They always have to rub it in when they get the nice day. There's Judith. Shabbat Shalom from Gallipolis. I've heard it pronounced 4 times. It means nobody knows how to pronounce it. Judith, Shabbat Shalom. And Donna Wilson, Shabbat Shalom to all. Thank you, Donna. All right, folks, lots going on this weekend. So please, we can't wait to see you and hope that you make it for as much as you can. I want to wish everybody Shabbat Shalom, a good Shabbos, an early Chag Shavuot Sameach, and please be careful out there.